All right, so let's start a hunt. So I can always just type in a free-form question into the search bar here using conversational English, or I can go into a hunting starting point. So I'm going to click on this question, which is about finding PowerShell connections to IPs outside the United States. This is actually searching across a relatively large data set. I'm operating at our global scope. SentinelOne supports a multi-tenant hierarchy. So we actually have 3 levels of that hierarchy: global scope, an account scope, and then all the way down to a site scope. I'm searching at a global scope across a wide variety of data. And you can see here what Purple did was take this conversational question or query and convert it into a relatively complex Power Query. That's the name of our structured query syntax. It queried the data lake, started streaming back results of IP connections, PowerShell connections to IPs outside the US, created a summary of those results. So it took all those results and distilled it down into some key points, and then suggested follow-on questions. Now, I can also drill down into an individual event, and it will pop open this summary page for that individual event with all the details of that individual event. And it will also summarize that individual event. So take all the metadata about this event and come up with a nice 2-paragraph summary. And what we saw is actually, during our beta and with our early customers, folks are taking this information and cutting and pasting it directly into tickets, incident tickets, as part of their investigation. But if I want to continue on to the hunt, just to show you sort of the more free-form text, I could say, I want to filter this down and show me just the failed logins. So same thing here. What's happening in the back end is this question is being sent to Purple. Purple uses something called a RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation architecture. And so that question is sent to our agent framework. This is like an LLM, large language model agent framework. And that agent framework has been trained on various behaviors. One of those behaviors is to take a question and convert it into Power Query. And it first matches this question against information in our internal knowledge base, and then uses that information to smartly prompt a large language model to convert that question into a Power Query. And once again, here now I got a smaller list of failed logins. And from here, I could say, okay, now I want to group the failed logins by country. And same thing here. We are going through that process of taking that question, converting it to Power Query, retrieving the data from our data lake, and streaming back the results. Now I have this list here where we essentially did a group by query and showing the failed login events by country. You can see that, as I started this particular hunt, it automatically created a notebook. And I can name this notebook whatever I want. I can also share this notebook with other users inside the scope that I'm working within in the SentinelOne console. As a last step, just sort of as a fun thing, I could say, write me a brief email of the above data, discussing that our environment is being targeted by password spraying attempts, which is what this data appears to look like. And Purple will essentially here just summarize the notebook. So you can also use Purple to create things like instant reports or email summaries by asking Purple to summarize basically everything you did in that notebook. I could even say like please expand this email with additional data. If I want to modify this email a bit, tweak it, you can ask Purple to do that for you. And you can see here that it added some additional context here. So that's Purple in a nutshell. We've got actually a number of new features that we've recently launched as well.